Morning. My name is Aranda Buford. I'm the Director of Communications for Upper Darby School District. Thank you for attending our 41st Student Administration Day. This is a very special day for us. This is probably the most important date for our students besides graduation, of course, from high school. And the reason why we consider this so important is it's an opportunity for our students to learn real-life job shadowing experiences. A lot of times people are on the outside looking in, and they have no idea what it takes to run this beast, this machine of a school district. Think about it. There are 13,000 kids here, right? How many families? Thousands of families. We have about 94 different languages, 97 different languages that are spoken, about almost 1,000 ELL students here, I think 1,100 ELL students here. So the diversity, the needs are just tremendous. And all of that rests on the shoulders of just a couple of people: the school board of directors, our superintendent, our cabinet members, our principals, and our central administrators. And then, of course, the teachers, who are our soldiers. They are our face-to-face, hands-on soldiers in this warfare of educating our kids. We take it very, very seriously. And we want our students to experience the complicated, challenging nature of running this machine, this little city called Upper Darby School District. So for today, as you've seen in the letter that I shared with parents, they had a job shadowing opportunity. They met with their principals and walked in their shoes today. Just a little bit, probably did a couple cute things, but not the hard work today, right, Principal Meehan? You got a chance to, mow the lawn today, because that's what principals do, right? No. So you got to see behind the scenes all of the little decisions that principals make. Maybe you saw some discipline happening. Maybe you saw a restorative conversation that the principal was having with another student. Maybe you saw the principal have to remind a staff member about some duty or something that needed to be done. You've seen a plethora of stuff in just this little bit of time. So take that and multiply it times the number of school days, 144 that we have to have through the school year, and then multiply that by some of these people who've been here 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30 years. It's a lot of work. It's exhausting. But we wanted you to kind of have that experience. The next thing that we had was the cabinet meeting. It was a mock cabinet meeting that our superintendent had, and he can talk about that more because we want you parents to understand what happens behind closed doors as well. So we had the students who were shadowing cabinet members come in and experience that. Then we moved on to a small group, collaborative group type of project where we gave them a real life problem that we have to solve in the district. They could either use some of the resources, strategies, and interventions we already have in place, or they could be creative and come up with more ideas. One of the challenges that some of them had, and Dr. McGarry will talk about it further, is just zoning in on what the problem is and actually zoning in on how to fix it. They were kind of like all over the place, but that was the point of the project, to kind of show them how complicated and challenging these decisions can be, to come together to bring so many people from different backgrounds together to solve one problem. So the next thing is we went to eat, and we had a great time. I mean, the food was pretty good. We had to not go to Drexel Brook for obvious reasons. Also, everything costs more, so we decided to utilize our facilities to the best of our ability. That was Dr. McGarry's idea, and I think it was an amazing idea. So this is probably a new tradition for us, or not, we'll see. But everyone was very flexible and cooperative, and we really appreciate that. And then our last experience you're having right now. We're going to talk about those job shadowing opportunities, just a little bit about the experiences you had and what you learned. I know that it's different because you weren't able to be in their offices, in their spaces, but maybe the conversations and just a little bit of interacting with your administrator taught you a little bit about what their jobs are about and how complicated it is to run this place. So without further ado, I want to introduce our illustrious leader, Dr. McGarry, because this is his day as well. He loves this day to interact with the kids because he doesn't get a lot of opportunity to do that, and he gets to do it today in a deep way. So we want to invite him up.
So first, I want to thank Ms. Buford and the team for continuing this time-honored tradition here in Upper Darby School District. This has been going on for well over 20 years, that we provide an opportunity for students throughout the school district, kindergarten through 12th grade, to shadow an administrator, to give us feedback As I told the students, they're our number one priority, and also the reason why we have jobs. So if we didn't have students in our schools, we certainly wouldn't have jobs, and I reminded that. I also reminded our students and the parents that are here today that, at the end of the day, you pay our salaries. We work for you. We work for the community, we work for the taxpayers, and we ultimately work for the children in the school district. And we do not take that for granted. And I think that's one of the top reasons why a day like Student Administrator Day was created here in Upper Darby, and we've kept it alive and strong, is because while we can get caught up as adults in the day-to-day activities and the pressures and the stresses to carry the school district forward, our number one priority is always to give the best opportunities for our kids to reach their goals, and we take that very, very seriously. And so keeping this tradition going over the last 2 years, and certainly during a pandemic, I want to thank the team, the cabinet, and Mrs. Buford for helping us keeping this going. We had to make some adjustments because just like everything else in COVID, inflation has hit even some of our local places where we would go. The cost went up so high that we decided we had to keep it in-house for cost reasons. But it turned out pretty well. I want to thank Aramark Food for helping us out, Ms. Wendy Elgart and the team, and our CFO for making some adjustments. I hope the lunch was well received today. I hope it was positive. And just before I turn it over to the students, because it's really about them, I also want to say to the parents, thank you for all that you do. We are blessed that you trust us to send your children to our schools every day. It's something that we obviously take very seriously. And a funny note for me, when I realized that Faith Weaver was going to shout at me, Faith came in, she was excited, she was very, very, very professional. She stood there, she greeted me, and she said, Dr. McGarry, you know my dad. He went to high school with you. And I said, there's not many people, it's like 50-50, how many people would admit that they knew me, or they were okay and comfortable with admitting that they know me. So Larry Weaver went to high school. I know him well, and I share with Faith that it's another positive thing about Upper Darby School District is that when I walked into a recent Clifton Heights meeting over our plan to build a new middle school in Clifton Heights Middle School, we met with companies, PGW, who's involved with gas. We met with PennDOT for the roads. We met with Aqua. And part of the key project at Clifton Heights is getting stormwater management in the roads in that area. And it was really a collaborative effort. And when you have Upper Darby people in the room with you who want to see that project together, it was a lot more sense of relief that we've got good people who are here for the same reasons. So your dad was a positive face in what has been otherwise a very stressful process to get us to this point. So it's always good to know that in Upper Darby, wherever you go, these relationships that you build, no matter what, it will carry you throughout the rest of your life. Thousands of kids you've interacted with here in this high school will be out in the real world one day, and it's awesome to walk in a room and look across the table and you see somebody that you went to school with and and that can help you out. And that's key. No matter what, wherever you go in your life, don't lose these friendships, don't lose these relationships because they're invaluable. They're the most important connections you'll make in your life. So with that said, I want to turn this over to the superintendent of schools today, Faith Weaver, who obviously, just like everybody else when they have these opportunities, is eager and ready to go, slightly nervous, but Faith, we believe in you. Let's do it.
So I'm sure, as you all know, I'm Faith Weaver, and I got the opportunity to shadow Dr. McGarry. He's our superintendent, and I definitely learned a lot about this job today. This job it's a lot. That's the bottom line of it. It includes constant attention pretty much 24 hours, 7 days a week, even on holidays too. There's really no breaks. The phone calls and emails never stop, and they start right in the morning. And there's constantly important meetings that he needs to be at. The cabinet meetings is one of them, where every Monday he listens to the board and he approves various things that they bring to his attention. The most important thing that I learned about this job is worrying about the academics, back facilities, construction, and students is the majority of it. So thank you. So now I'm going to bring up some of our other students who got a chance to shadow some other administrators. So first up, we have Anam Hassan.
Hi, my name is Anam Hassan, and I shadowed the Director of Communications, which is Mrs. Buford, soon to be a doctor. Her main job is to let the public know about what's going on at our school, like what we are planning with future policies, and to also reel in the public by encouraging parent participation. She talks to the media when there are instances in school such as fire drills, lockdowns, and lock-ins. There are lots of negotiations that take place, and she's better known as Dr. McGarry's protector because she boosts a positive profile at our school. Next year, I plan to attend, most likely, Drexel University to major in biological sciences. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rafif El-Said, and I shadowed the Assistant Superintendent of Personnel and Equity, Dr. John Council. He's a very important member of the Cabinet. His main responsibilities deal with the staff all around the district, which include the teachers, janitors, crossing guards, etc. He manages all the labor contract negotiations, deals with issues among personnel, and oversees recruitment, hiring, benefits, staff training, termination, and much, much more. Next year, I plan to attend Drexel University and major in biological sciences on the pre-med track.
Hi, my name is Anna Fatizo, and I shadow the Director of Curriculum, Dr. Christine Kelly. I learned that the Curriculum Director works across the district, evaluating instruction and providing support. The Curriculum Director works to devise professional development for teachers. The Curriculum Director also organizes standardized testing and provides assessment resources. The Curriculum Director is important for Upper Darby High School, making sure they are compliant with state standards and providing students with engaging curriculum. Next year, I plan to attend George Washington University in Washington, D.C. for political communication. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Diane Barnes, and I got the opportunity to shadow the Manager of Data and Information, Mr. Tim Lambert, and he manages information. I'm just kidding. So Mr. Lambert manages a substantial amount of data that is requirement for state planning. He also assists with long-range facilities planning, and the data collected helps departments plan for educational initiatives. And this data involves basically, everything involves data. So that's what I got from shadowing him today, that everything involves data, and they use that data to plan everything for the school. So, yeah. I plan on attending Georgetown University and majoring in biochemistry.
Good afternoon. My name is Nit Fatizo, and I shadowed the Director of Secondary Education, Dr. Gregory Manfrey. I learned that Dr. Manfrey's job includes overseeing the principles that help our secondary education run smoothly, and in general, oversees the overall running of secondary education. He has a very important job. Next year, I plan to attend George Washington University for political science and history. Thank you.
I was saying to Faith, this is something that a superintendent would do right now, to point this out. These are siblings, twins, that are going to be going to school together next year at the same university, and I asked how they feel about that. They were thrilled. They were like, this is going to be so cool. And then I said, are you guys going to live together as siblings? What was the answer? No. So it must not be that great, but compliments to your families and way to go to the two of you that you're even willing to go to school together.
Hi, my name is Emma Shalaba, and I shadowed the Director of Pupil Services today, Dr. Chris Pugliese. Dr. Pugliese coordinates school nurses, student assistant programs, mental health resources, and special education programs. He also reviews 504 plans, hires staff, and is a part of the central administration. He helps students succeed beyond the classroom and provides any resources they need. Next year, I plan to attend Millersville University for respiratory therapy. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Juliana Quinn, and I shadow the Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Rogers. I learned that Chief Financial Officer is responsible for the funds going in and out of the entire district. While the job title may seem self-explanatory, his job is much more complicated than it seems. He also plays a key role in budgeting. For example, he advises in construction projects in the district and also communicates with the school board. Next year, I plan to attend Thomas Jefferson University and major in their Accelerated Physician Assistant program.
Okay, next I'm going to introduce everyone who shadowed the central admin. So first, we have Khadija Umar.
Hi, my name is Khadija Umar, and I shadowed the curriculum supervisor of EL and MTSS, Joanna DeMarco. I learned that she oversees the ELL curriculum and manages the overall program. She's had a lot of teaching experience, from being a reading specialist to a teacher, from an instructional coach to being in charge of subs and being an assistant principal for the class of 2016. Best thing about our job is seeing teachers inspired and motivated for the activities and involvement that they put in. Next year, I plan to attend Temple University to major in architecture. Thank you.
Hi, my name's James Diaco, and today I shadowed the supervisor of equity, Ms. Figueroa Douglas. I learned that as the supervisor of equity, her input goes to influence virtually every area of the school district, including like staff interviews and trying to create a pipeline between our school and Westchester to promote jobs within the district. So it's just a really multifaceted issue, ensuring equity, and I thought that was really fascinating to learn about. Next year, I plan to study education, so it was nice to get sort of an inside look at those efforts.
Hi everyone, Lamia Begum, and I shadowed Supervisor of Special Education, Thomas Fitty, and I learned that he plays an important role in supervising things that are related to special education programs, such as like funding and cases, and he's also, alongside the other supervisors, are in charge of hiring people for positions such as school psychologists. And when he talked about being the supervisor, he looked very passionate, so I'm glad he's one of the supervisors. And next year, I plan to attend Drexel University for health science.
Hello, my name is Fatia Azmi, and I shadowed the supervisor of special education, Mrs. Hardis, and she supervises the special education teachers in middle schools. She looks over school psychologists and speech therapists, and she overlooks all the PSAs. Next year, I'll be attending Drexel University to major in nursing.
Hi, my name is Zuhar Ansem, and I had the privilege of shadowing Special Education Coordinator Jennifer Jones, who is responsible for organizing and managing programs, which include supporting students with a variety of needs, from learning to behavioral, mental, and/or physical disabilities. She is responsible to ensure that each student can grow academically and personally while accommodating their special needs. Next year, I plan to attend Thomas Jefferson University to major in pre-medical studies.
Hi, my name is Sebastian Mastek, and I shadowed the curriculum supervisor of music, art, and theater, Mr. Lashley. I learned that it is difficult to balance practicality with idealism. While there are many things that could be implemented into the district's artistic curriculum, it is sometimes difficult to justify those changes when the benefits of the arts are seldom understood. Nevertheless, it is very rewarding to watch kids improve their skills as they progress through school. Next year, I plan to attend Cornell University to major in mechanical engineering. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nisha Tasneen, and I had the privilege of shadowing Chuck Lau, the supervisor of technology. His role of the supervisor of technology involves in identifying current trends for teacher and student technologies with a 5-year plan to effectively implement them to assist in academic learning. He also oversees the installation of the district's wireless network, the development of our student Chromebook devices, and of course, the one-to-one device deployment initiative. As technology constantly develops, Mr. Lau has to look at how the industry is changing and the student needs and accommodations to make the changes necessary to keep up with technological advancements, all to improve the best education possible for our students. Next year, I plan to attend the University of Pennsylvania to major in biology. Thank you.
This is disorienting. Hi, my name is Anam Hassan, and I shadowed the manager of facilities, Mr. Leaf. Mr. Leaf's day can start at 5 a.m. and it can end at 9 p.m. Managing facilities means keeping track of every school in the district and managing all of the projects that are happening there. As Upper Darby continues renovating our fields, our classrooms, and many other projects, Mr. Leaf makes sure that everything is accomplished with excellence. Next year, I plan to attend Cornell University and majoring in economics and English. And I'll be roommates with Sebastian over there. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Diana Barnes, and I got to shadow Mrs. Megan McCoach, who I think has one of the more unique jobs that isn't acknowledged enough. She's the supervisor of special ed, and she works primary for the entire district at the elementary level, and she works with the larger schools. She oversees special ed programs like autistic support, and there are up to 4 other supervisors that focus on specific areas, and she does like ESY, which is extended school year for special ed students, and this is a requirement for summer school, and kids qualified based on their data, and she does a lot of legal cases. And why I feel like her job is unique and important is because she works with not only students, but parents and teachers as well, so she works with everybody. And next year I plan on attending Georgetown University to major in biochemistry on the pre-med track.
So I think you can see another trend here. Another set of very successful twins who have decided to go to school together. I didn't get a chance to answer you this question because I had to leave previously, but are you going to room together if you can?
Yes.
Well, we got to get it together, the other group. So congratulations to you and your family.
Thank you.
There you go.
Hi, my name is Simi Hazareen, and I shadowed the supervisor of special education, Mr. Nielsen. Mr. Nielsen works primarily within the high school to ensure that children who need special education and adjusted curriculums are able to get the help and resources they need. Mr. Nielsen's work ranges from overseeing the legal aspects of special education to making sure Upper Darby special education students are accounted for at the state and federal level. While walking around the school with Mr. Nielsen today, I was able to see the special education department's April Showers event on the field, and seeing the wonderful connection these students have with their teachers made me realize how important Mr. Nielsen's and the entire special education department's work is to ensure that our special education students have what they need to succeed. Next year, I plan to attend Drexel University to major in computer science. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Renee Purnell, and today I was assigned to follow around Miss O'Neill, who's the curriculum supervisor for ELA, but because of the interconnected things that they have to do, I also followed around Miss Kenya and Mr. Schwartz, and just shout out to Miss Riches because I see them all up there and I'm in their office all the time. So the work that they all do together is curriculum supervision, with each of them specializing in a different area. Mr. Schwartz is math, like I said, Miss O'Neill is ELA, Miss Riches does science, and then Miss Kenya does the high school ELA, and the social studies kind of intertwines with that. Today I learned that a lot of their work is involved in improving the curriculum, which has been especially important now because of the learning gaps that we've had over the past few years with COVID and everything else. Just making sure that kids can leave those younger grades with a strong foundation to bring them all the way up here. Next year, I plan to attend Loyola University Chicago to major in forensic science. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Krista Ramdas, and I shadow the curriculum supervisor of science, family and consumer science, health and physical education, Beth Riches. I learned that she gets to work with different kinds of groups from the different departments to revise, review, and improve the curriculum. For example, getting new materials due to the new changes they made to the curriculum. She gets to observe teachers and help them whenever they need it. Next year, I plan to attend Penn State University to major in aerospace engineering.
Hi, my name is Nora Farrison, and I shadowed the Controller of Finance, Mr. Yamola. As the title suggests, he works with the finances within the district. He works closely with the CFO when it comes to different financial obligations, such as managing requisitions, as well as managing payroll. Next year, I plan to attend Drexel University to major in nursing.
Following students are from our principals and assistant principals. First, we have Wendy Dorsonville. Next, we have Molly McGee.
Hi, I'm Molly McGee, and I shadowed the athletic director, Ms. Camiso. I learned that this position is like running a business. As an athletic director, responsibilities consist of making sure uniforms have been distributed/collected, communicating with bus drivers in different companies, and looking over all of the sports teams and athletes. Ms. Camiso is constantly active, and every decision she makes is in the community's and the athletes' best interest. I learned that athletic directors have to be efficient, communicative, empathetic, and cooperative. Ms. Camiso is extremely passionate about what she does and prioritizes each student at Upper Darby. Next year, I plan on attending Cabrini University to major in secondary education and social studies. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Hugh Gleland-Batt, and I got to follow around Mr. James Finch, the assistant principal of operations, which basically means he's in charge of scheduling. Unfortunately, ironically enough, because of a bit of a scheduling oopsie, I was late. So I only got to talk to him for a bit, but it was still very interesting. He handles basically the entire scheduling of the school, making sure that teachers are able to cover classes when they need to, And it was just really interesting to see the process of that and see how insane it is to make sure that 300 teachers get where they need to be on time. I plan next year to attend Temple University for who knows what.
My name is Evan Nguyen. I shout out the assistant principal of class of 2022, Mr. Hensel. He essentially has to manage class of 2022 and ensure that each day and each event goes as smoothly as possible. I also learned that his favorite thing about his job is that he is able to build relationships with his students and truly become friends with them. Next year, I plan to attend Penn State University to major in computer science.
All right. Alrighty. My name is Aiden Gallo, as she just said. I shadowed one of the assistant principals, Miss Jill Palladino. I learned that, for a brief time talking to her, that she handles attendance and also monitoring security. So she handles Schoology posts, so clubs and activities, but also managing attendance. But what I did not really know is that she also handles the security of lockdowns and how scary it can be with having the attendance, but also managing that attendance while locked down or having a fire drill is happening, which kind of makes her always on her feet. Next year, I plan to attend Temple University. I plan to major in undeclared liberal arts under their honors program.
Hi, I'm Sana Sode, and I was able to shadow Miss Saitek, who is the assistant principal for the Freshman Center. I learned that basically to have this position, or any position at a center at the high school really, communication with students is essential. You have to care about students' overall well-being inside and outside of the classroom. And really, they're the first line of communication between administration and the student body, so their role in the school is very important, as well as keeping parents in the loop with their child's education. So basically, the connection between all three of these groups of people. Beyond this, I was able to have a conversation one-on-one with her about my future and advice that she may have for me moving forward. And from that one conversation, I could tell that she really must play an active role in her students' life, in their lives, and ensuring that they have the tools they need to succeed. Next year, I plan to attend U Sciences or Jefferson, I haven't decided yet, to their pharmacy program. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Timothy Tran, and I shadowed the principal of the high school, Mrs. Kelly Simone. I learned that her job responsibilities, it was a lot. She has to ensure the safety of the high school students, attend meetings, and ensure that the academic policies are being followed. She also helps teachers reach their best teaching potential. And for her new position as the Director of Secondary Education, she has been slowly being incorporated for her new role in July, as she has been interviewing new candidates to fill positions for the middle schools for Beverly Hills and Drexel Hill. Next year, I plan to attend the University of Pittsburgh to major in pre-law with a focus on political science with guaranteed admissions to their law school. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kaylee Acapina, and I shadow the assistant principal, James Finch. I learned about how he keeps track of the student schedules and organizing teachers for coverages. He uses several programs, including spreadsheets, to keep track of the many emails he sends out for coverages. These emails include specific information of the block number, class subject, and Google Meet codes. Overall, he taught me that getting to the end goal was difficult but incredibly rewarding. I will carry out the lessons I learned next year in Delaware County Community College to major in finance.
And there were a few other students I meant to call in the beginning who were unable to make it today. Brianna Hong, Stanley Gian, Maura Pennant, and Zane Foster.
Next, we're going to call up our administrators from the middle schools, so please just come up and get your award and go sit back down. Okay, so first we have Michaela Lee, Gabriel Cooper, Courage Borber, Sachleen Mangat, Sierra Brown. Congratulations. Gabriel? Okay, Drexel Hill. Rayhan Iqbal, Michael Cavalli, Taylor Williams, and Erlina Chasi Portilla. Okay, now we're going to introduce our elementary school principals, mini principals. First is Jasmine Scott from Aronimink, and I'm sorry if I messed this up, Ioannis Katertzoglu from Aronimink. Just come down. Yep. From Bywood, Labibor Labib and Kara Dasa. From Charles Kelly, Chloe Cruz Williams and Tahmid Rafin. From Garrettford, Sari Fulton Dudley and Brandon Kramer. From Highland Park, Ryan Sapp, Mark Krikorian. From Hillcrest, Cadence Simpson Dardum and Ryan Blank. From Primus, Taylor Hoback and Daniel Sandy. From Stonehurst, Jeremy Seguenza and Basira Konate. From Senkau, Naiza Anto and Maxim Ganges. From Westbrook, Olivia Weatherwax and Ulysses Vargas.
So, no, you're not, you two aren't finished. Come on up. Before we close, and we'll have the high school students gather for their parents to take a picture as well. Again, I wanted to say thank you to the families for entrusting your children here in our schools. It means a lot. Also to all the teachers in the school district, the administrators that are very much a part of your lives getting to where you are. You know, it's wonderful to have great kids, but it's a total team effort, and I appreciate who you are. We wish you the best of luck, too, when you make it to graduation this year and you go out into the real world. We were just talking here about how difficult some of these things are, right? Making these presentations, you get nervous a little bit, but you did great. When I first walked in and I met Faith, I saw this very familiar face as well. So when you get to this point in your career and you've been an elementary school principal, and Mr. Marshallak knows what I'm talking about because we both worked at Bywood together, I met this young lady a very, 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 very long time ago, and she reminded me that I gave her the nickname Smarty Pants when she was in elementary school, and it stuck ever since. And she thought it was funny to imitate me crossing my arms there a moment ago, but it did dawn on her, yeah, which she's been doing since she's been little. It's dawned on her how difficult sometimes it is to make these kinds of presentations and talk. And one of the things I want you to know is just do what comes naturally to you. Be who you are. Your last 4 years here in this high school and your career has prepared you for wherever university you go to. You all have poise. You all have confidence. You're going to be fine. Be confident. Stay strong. And don't worry. Every now and again, you'll have a little slip up here and there. But don't lose sight of who you are and how you got to where you are, right? Make sense? All right. So I'm going to turn over to Ms. Buford to close it out. I wanted to say to the two of you did an excellent job for your first time doing this. Congratulations. Ms. Buford?
So we just want to thank you parents again for taking time out of your busy schedules to come out. I don't want to get off track, but I just want to say something that, remember our student last year, the student rep, Curtis Everett? Curtis went to Harvard last year. Curtis reached out to me for a letter of recommendation for two things. He wanted to volunteer. We both live in Delaware, so he wanted to volunteer politically. So I wrote him a nice letter of recommendation. We got to talking. There was a Harvard article about kids being acclimated into the school system, and I also talked to him about something on a TV show we're watching together about being in white spaces, you know, as a black person. And so we were just talking about that, and he said that he was aware that being in Upper Darby School District would prepare him for dealing with the diversity and also the adversity, because he's flexible. That's one thing you learn here. You don't know it yet. You will learn it. Flexibility is huge because there are a lot of inflexible people around you. But he said that he also didn't realize that the academic programming was really, really good here. Until he got out, he learned how to think here Whereas he said a lot of the kids that came from Ivy League school districts, they were more into what's the right answer? How do I respond? What's the next step? Whereas he was like thinking critically, how do I solve this problem? How do I bring everyone together? How do we have a consensus? He said those were skills he picked up here. So I know I heard you guys who were talking about the academics earlier during the student group. Just know that you're getting a quality educational program here. It's not just diversity. That's not the only thing that we have to offer here. You will learn how to be flexible. You will learn how to think through things. You know, you will become a strategist. That's how you excel in this world. So Dr. McGarry is all about that. If you've ever talked to him, he will try to like get inside your head because he wants to know how you think. And I think that that's how a lot of the teachers here really, you know, approach education. It's not just about the right answer in Upper Darby. It's about how do you arrive to that right answer? How do you prove that that's the right answer? How do you bring other people along with you? Those are skills that we want in our next generation of Americans. So that's why this day is important, and we thank you guys for taking time out to come. Thank you, principals, as well. Have a great day.